Hi friends! Really short update video. I haven't done any parasite updates lately because Christmas and the holidays were crazy and I didn't be consistent with things because of travel and family and everything, but I had a weird experience the other day. I invited 3 different families of girls over to go through some of the jewelry. Now, if you watch my YouTube videos, you know that I have some about parasites, some about nutrition, some about dehydration, and I do jewelry bag go-throughs. And I've been doing this for years, not just for YouTube and the cameras. I did it for other reasons, and you can check that out on my blog. I might do a video about that another day, but just know that I go through jewelry bags. So I invited these girls to go over and go through the jewelry and take what they wanted. I have literally a huge tote. I mean, full. And it's so heavy, 2 people can't lift it. We had to like push and drag it, and there's so much. So I had them going through stuff at my house, and I started to notice that every girl had a rash from 3 different families. Now, I didn't ask them if they had rashes, so some of them left before I said anything and asked, but it was so apparent that they all have the rashes that I talked about with my girls that they would get when they would be wet against wet. So like if I would go to the lake and then hold one of them, we would have a rash wherever our body touched. Then when we would use hand towels, or one of the girls would, we have robes. I got to the point where everybody had one towel, one robe that they would use. And then when one would accidentally use the other one, they all had white robes. They would get a rash from the other one, and we would just pass it around. So finally in the house, we don't use hand towels. I don't use kitchen dish towels. We just use paper towel for everything. I know that sounds kind of, the recycle people or whatever won't like that we do that, but it's because of this rash with the parasites. So I noticed that the girls all had rashes, and when I asked them about it, some of the older ones said that they had rashes too. Now, my lighting isn't the best on this, but I'm just going to show you. Hopefully you can see. No, that's terrible. Wait, where did it? There. It's the light. Okay, let me see if let's see if we can do this where you can see it without the, nope. All right. We're just going to have to turn it like that. Anyway, so you can see that she has a rash. Gosh. Oh, if I do it in the other room, it's like, there we go. We'll do it like that. Okay, so she has a rash on her arm, and this you can't see because of the light. Even when I took it with the flash, the rash goes all the way up here, all the way down. Okay, so that was the length of her. Then there's this one on her neck, all the way up and down. Gosh, I thought it would be a better view. There we go. And it goes down here onto her neck as well, down here. Okay, then this is not the same family. This is a different family. Let's see if we can get a good view of that one. You see how red? Gosh, there's got to be a better way. Her rash on that arm, and her rash on that arm. And so these are not the same family. This one is on an upper arm of one of the older girls. Her rashes are not as bad, I guess, because she can control herself itching. And anyway, hers are more like one of my girls I showed on my trip back last summer. Rashes. Okay, now this girl, let me cover their faces a little bit. You know what? I'll just blow it up. There we go. Hopefully you can see she's got a rash down the side of her face. It goes from, let's see, from here down to here on her face. Now, this is not all the same family, but all of these kids from 3 different families live within 2 blocks of my house. So I don't know what to do and how to bring more attention to it. I wrote the governor's office several times. I contacted the epidemiologist several times. The health department, I have spoken with somebody at our local health department. There's a little bit of history there, so let's just say I've tried the health department. And then I wrote the lieutenant governor this past week, and because he's on a suicide watch prevention coalition to try and help curb the suicide situation in our state. So I sent them information, and it'll probably, I got a little note back. I've not gotten notes back from the other ones that I've written, but I got a note back this time saying it was not from him. Of course, it was from an aide that said, "Thanks for writing. We passed it on to the health department." So let's just say I know somebody who used to work there, and so it probably won't go anywhere. And so I don't think it's going anywhere. This is probably too much information, but 3 families have the rash, and there's a lady within the same 2-block period that has a rash so bad. Now, she doesn't have this type of rash. She has the rash that I get on my legs, like a, oh, I should not do this late at night. You all know how my mind is. She has the rash that spreads, the oozing rash from them burrowing in and out of the legs and everything. Now, I asked her if I could take pictures. I went and visited her, told her how I take care of it, but she's got somewhat of longer fingernails, and she's scratching, and it's spread everywhere, and she's had it for a couple of weeks, and it would have been very easy for me to have that everywhere. It took me, I have scarring on my leg from the first time I got it. I thought I had shingles. You can watch my other videos about that, but I feel bad because she has it everywhere, but you have to keep it dry. You can't shower. You can't, and it's all oozing now. She's got it in so many places. It's awful. I really feel bad for her. But these are all within 2 blocks of my house. Now, I showed pictures of a little girl who was a toddler who used to play in a little piece of dirt that they had by the front door that was where they planted flowers. And it was just dirt, and she would just sit there and dig in the dirt. And now she had the rashes on her ankles and anyway, I think on her top of her feet, and in this area, like where I get mine. So anyway, there's definitely a problem. It can't be every family has the same, whatever. If it's not spreadable, I know it is because I've had it. All my kids have had this. I can't tell you how many times they'd walk around. We would cut a sock strap, the bottom of the sock off, put that diatomaceous earth, and put a sock over this area. Every single one of my kids has had the exact same rashes there, and we've had them on the neck before, behind the ears, wherever it will stay moist, and these parasites will come to the surface there. And obviously, it's not something the parents know what to do with it. It took me years to figure out how to get rid of it. We kept passing it back and forth. That's why we don't use hand towels ever. So I feel so sad because I don't know how to cure it. So if I tell people that I think their family has the parasite or anything, they just get weird because they don't want to hear it, that they don't know how to fix it. So I didn't say anything to these parents. I mean, I can tell them how to get rid of the rash, but I can't tell them how to get rid of the parasite. And as long as they're going to be moist on moist, they're going to keep spreading it in their families. If they use the same dish towel, hand towel, towels after the shower, just touching them, cleaning up, whatever, it spreads. I don't know how to help them. I feel so bad. But because I saw that a couple weeks ago, that's why I wrote the lieutenant governor and said, hey, this is going on. And they were, they're like, well, if you have any other information you want to share with us, well, yeah, I didn't write everything. I just wrote, hey, I think it might be caused by a parasite. You want to look into it, especially in our area because we have such a high suicide rate in our county, not just in our state, but in our county. And so I don't know what else to do. Anyway, that's why I wrote them, because I thought, who's helping these families, these poor little girls? My girls have had it for years. We've been fighting it for years. And then when I saw those 3 different families, all of those beautiful girls having these scars and itchy and rashes, and I just thought, who is helping these people? It just breaks my heart that if they have it at this young age, where are they going to be when they're my age? Because I didn't have this till I was older. So where are they going to be? It just makes me sad. Anyway, so I wanted to share that. If anybody has any connections with anybody, please tell them to look into this stupid thing so that we can help them. And their lung damage. My lung damage is so bad. So bad. I'm not sure what to do about it. I've got to do something because it's just getting to the point where I'm not getting enough oxygen on a regular basis, not let alone when I'm exercising or whatever. So I wanted to share the pictures with you. And if your rashes look like that, diatomaceous earth. Keep it super dry. Cotton, all cotton. Don't use socks that are polyester when you're using. Do 100% cotton. If you need to, take a pair of cotton leggings or cotton thermals or something that's cotton and get them a smaller size that won't fall off, and then you can cut the leg off on a smaller kid's pants or something, like a cotton pajamas or something, and then put that on their arm or their leg to keep it dry. And then all throughout the day, just dump a little bit more diatomaceous, just kind of pull it out, put a little bit more diatomaceous earth, and then put it back on to keep that rash down. And you can use iodine on it. And then I would use the iodine in the morning because it will keep them awake at night. You don't want to keep them awake at night. So put iodine on in the morning and then diatomaceous on earth all day long. And then at night you can put some antifungal cream. Because it's moist and because of the parasites, I think fungal infections get in there as well. So plus with them burrowing and everything, it seems like I really like the antifungal cream from the dollar store that has aloe in it. But I found I like using them opposite instead of together because I don't want them to counteract each other. So iodine in the morning and the cream at night and the diatomaceous earth to help keep it down. And I have used the fungal cream and then diatomaceous earth on top of it at night, just to the fungal cream to get the fungal down, but the diatomaceous earth to keep it dry so the worms don't come out from moisture. So those are the tricks that I've used to get rid of that rash. And I wanted to talk to you about, I can't remember if I've done the update. I may have done the update and not posted the update. I'll have to look. About OG resin. It's called Horsehair resin. It's from South America and the Amazon. And I think I do remember talking about it, but I don't remember if I posted the video. Sorry, there's just been so many things. I've been having some issues with my computer, the holidays, everything. It's a little muddled to what as I have, and I haven't posted. But the Horsehair resin, it's spelled O-J-E with an accent. Horsehair. But it looks like O-J-E. And I bought it from a company in Ecuador, and it did kill off parasites in the gut, but it didn't kill them off. The bigger ones I could still feel crawling around, and I did have die-off because it did kill the ones that were in the gut, but then it caused the hyperinfection a couple weeks later as the eggs hatched from killing off the ones in the gut. So I don't think that it's kind of like walnut. If you take black walnut, it kills the ones in the gut, doesn't seem to kill the ones in the lymph and everything else. And then a week later, I have massive heart burrowing and everything. And now, since I did that, I was actually in a fairly level place with the larger ones and the smaller ones, and I was kind of keeping it under control. Since I've tried that, and I tried another thing, and it's not a human known treatment either, and it did the same thing. It killed off the ones in the gut, but I don't know about the dosing because the I used the dosing that the company recommended, and I did a lot of research. I'm not just taking things willy-nilly. I'm doing a lot of research before I try things. So people will suggest things, but it takes me a month to research in depth. I don't want to take something that's going to kill me, but the parasites are killing me, so I'm trying things that might help. But if you can see my eye, I don't know if you can see my eyes, but both of them now are so yellow, so yellow, and my liver actually hurts. So it makes me a little nervous that Anyway, there's nothing I can do about it. So I just try not to think about it. But, so I wouldn't recommend doing the Horsehair resin, for this parasite. It did work as an anti-parasite like black walnut does, but it did not work to get this out of the rest of the body. I can still feel the long ones creeping around. So just wanted to share that. And also somebody mentioned pumpkin. Now I've had pumpkin seed and I've tried pumpkin seed, and I'm actually eating pumpkin seeds that I made out of my own pumpkins over the last few years, just to try and keep them down a little bit. But somebody suggested pumpkin, and I had a dream the other night that I was eating. It was weird. It was kind of like a pureed pumpkin that was frozen and with like a Sprite in it. But I think when I woke up, the soda that was in it, it is baking soda. So I thought I had some dried pumpkin, and I looked through my cupboards in the kitchen, but I think I need to go out and look in my food storage a little bit more for that dried pumpkin. I may have just thrown it out because I thought, when am I going to use this? I made pumpkin flour, but since I don't bake because of the gluten thing, I might have thrown it out. So I have to do a little bit more searching for that. But I think maybe I'm going to try the pumpkin, because the person suggested on one of my YouTube channel somewhere, one of my posts, to try just pumpkin, regular pumpkin, not canned pumpkin, just eating pumpkin. So I was thinking about making a drink out of the pumpkin and a little bit of baking soda to try and neutralize a little bit my acidic body and see how that goes. So I've had dreams of several different things over my life that have actually really helped me. One of those was the B vitamins with avocado. I had that dream, and that has really helped me over the years. I've really liked the B vitamins with avocado. It helps you assimilate them, and it has really helped me. So that was just one example, but I've got a lot of them that I've kind of had dreams like that my whole life. Mostly as an adult, though. You don't know how to interpret them when you're kids a lot of times. So yeah, I'm crazy. Don't write in and tell me. I already know that. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you is good news. I've started working on a web page so that I can send people to the web page. But I have to buy a domain name, and I'm struggling because the domain name that I wanted was already taken, and most of the variations. It is available for $10,000. If I do want to pay the $10,000, I can get that domain name, but it's not worth $10,000 for me to have that domain name. So I'm working on it. I've got 2 full pages of the symptoms and all the pictures and all the videos linked for those symptoms already in order, but there's so many symptoms that it's and I spent a full day on each page. It's very time consuming to start from a blank page and put it into a format that is functional and usable and clickable and linkable and everything. But I will, as soon as I get it done and the domain name, I will make a video or a post on my blog about how to get there. But I just want to let you know I am trying. I have notified people if I can, trying to get this out there, and I am putting the page together so that you can send people to it and they can just have that information on the page and not have to read through all my blog stuff. And I don't want to link it to my blog or my YouTube channel in the sense that I don't want to use the secret as gratitude, because it is not about gratitude. It is about this parasite. And it will give me a forum to maybe not post as much on my blog about the parasite, because nobody wants to read about it. That just freaks them out. So if I can just put most of the information on this web page with the video links, the things we've tried and everything, then doctors can, when people get diagnosed with this, doctors can know what to not waste their money and time on, or it might work for that person but not for me. But if they get the same diagnosis, they can know maybe what has worked and try with that first, other than things that haven't worked for me. I'm not saying that they shouldn't try these other things, but some of them are really very, very expensive and can cause liver problems. So let's try the things that don't cause problems. Anyway, so please pray for me. This web page is very time consuming, and I have so many other things I want to do and need to do, but I've put those aside after the holidays to try and get this done. So I have probably four main pages done on it now, and I'm working more. I want to make it like the symptoms all on one page, and then where you can link to the actual, this, you know, then you can look more at the symptoms and the pictures with the symptoms, but then there's just a page where you can see just all the symptoms easily to see if it's something that you have, and then you can go in more in depth and look at the symptoms and the pictures and the videos about those symptoms. And then I want one where a page of just things we've tried, cures I've tried, because there's been so many of them, and I may have to go back and watch all my videos and read all my big medical notes that I've taken to see what I've tried, because it's been a long time. Anyway, and one page for the testing that was done and how we got it diagnosed. So that's the format that I'm hoping to get it in, and I hopefully will have that done in a short amount of time. So pray for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for the suggestions that you have been writing in. People have been really pretty positive. And so I appreciate that. And thank you for all those that are praying for our family and me specifically to try and figure this out so that we can help those poor kids all over that are having these problems. Anyway, appreciate you. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.